Did you want to fix something? Was that what you were going to say as I hit start?
It's okay. I just hope the fan's not getting too loud or something. We won't know
It shouldn't, in theory, because it's not hitting the mic. But it's definitely something they can hear in the background, I guess. Okay, let's share.
Hey, Karen. Nice to have you join us. It's very warm night. Extremely warm.
Then you go enjoy your yogurt thing.
I'm happy because it's one bottle.
Okay.
So it's less, of all those plastic cups and foil.
Okay. That's true.
That's it. And then there's supposedly mango, strawberry, original. I've only tried the blueberry so far.
It feels very brave to try other flavors of yogurt.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put this away.
But we'll be starting very soon, just warming up.
But it's warm enough.
Yeah. And if you are sharp-eyed, you probably notice there's an egg behind me. There.
Fine.
This shouldn't take too long, an episode.
Yeah. Plus, I think Antutan says has already started for the night.
So we'd like to support them too.
We definitely would like to support.
I guess we'll start at, it's 3:15. We should start. Oh, no, it was seconds.
No, but it's 9:16. So
I got confused. I thought it was, but yeah, we will start. This is Toby.
And this is Rocky.
And if it's your first time here, welcome to Baduy Pride, a little space on the internet where we talk about anything we want.
This is completely unscripted and not entirely accurate, but at least it's honest. Join us as we talk about everything and anything random live.
And if it's not your first time here, thank you so much for joining us again. This is our 170th episode, and we are having it as our episode for Easter.
Happy Easter, everyone. So we're talking about eggs because we're super creative. And so, eggs. You want to open that egg for everyone to see? So this is from...
So my sister sent this as a Easter gift from her family.
Yes.
Especially from Luke. Luke, when you are older, you will probably see this video and you will have no idea this happened. But look at that. It's a nice Easter message, and then there's a greeting. And the best part is when you open it. So Luke made this.
Yeah, so they've been one of their arts and crafts projects. So it's a bunny stamp.
And if you look down below, there's a date when it was made.
Yay.
And then there's a chick and another chick.
Because what's Easter without like chicks, right?
No. And it's like
So I don't know if they're gonna join the show. And I wonder if we should paint them ridiculous colors like purple and pink, so they're like church chicks.
Other than that,
that's gonna get very annoying.
There's a little bit of chocolate inside. But even more interesting beyond the giant egg that we got from them as an Easter gift.
Yeah.
And chicks. Yeah, chicks. Let's have the chicks.
They might jump off.
There. So other than that, is they sent us a kit,
Yeah, it was a kit inside a giant egg.
and it allowed us to make these home decorated cookies.
Wow, you can smell the sugar. I can't eat them.
So
I just decorated them.
so they're sugar cookies. They came with these piping bags that were filled with
Why didn't you try one?
colored icing. They're sugar cookies, so they're probably going to be super sweet.
Yes, they're sugar cookies with frosting and stuff.
And if you look at the 4 cookies right now,
Okay.
I'm not sure if the color's that good. I'm trying not to tilt it because it might fall. Can you tell which ones were made by the Atenean?
Wow, we're gonna really say that instead of just like which ones were made by Rocky. Instead, you have to ask which ones were made by the Atenean.
Atenean ka ba? It's a giant egg. Okay. We should bring this the next time we play Wingspan.
Yeah, but it only counts as one on one bird.
So I think I shall try.
Carlo, you're here. And are those matching Trixie and Katya shirts? Yes, they are they were exclusives in 1 year of DragCon. I was able to get them online. Now they're ridiculously big. But yeah.
And then notice the running rabbit. Since I was the one that decorated it, I had to give it my own inhumanoid spin. So it looks
Super.
like you can see the rib cage.
Yeah, that's obviously a Toby rabbit.
Some would say I'm carrying an egg, but I like to imagine it's the rib cage. Nah.
You all remember why you have to make that big eating sound? You ever see? Oh wow, how is it? Sugar,
Sugar.
sugar cookie with frosting, which is just sugar. I don't.
It's
miss
not
that.
bad, but
It's
it's
just
like
a lot.
it's like if you're eating the sugar flowers on a cake.
Okay,
Yeah.
because it's sugar on sugar.
Yes. So that's what this tastes like.
Okay, sorry, you still have like 5 more cookies to eat because I can't eat these things. Okay, yeah. So we're talking about eggs. We don't have a good flow for this. This is a Sunday episode.
I love Mitch's comment. We have new mascots other than spoiler sharks.
Yes, the Chikadorang chicks, I guess. they're just in the background, like medyo nakikichismis. Why are you? Okay. For a while, they're like, "Are you gonna flash us with the chicken, the chick butt?" Okay, but yeah, so that was our Easter. That was our big Easter activity, which is cool.
So I felt that it would be interesting to make eggs the topic given Easter.
We thought about this last week.
And it
Okay.
allows us to talk about it without necessarily just limiting ourselves to Easter.
Yeah, because it's especially since it is ECQ in many parts of the country, particularly NCR Plus, where we are. Obviously, we didn't get to do any big Easter things. Although I was confused because I stumbled across a Metro Manila Bulletin article that I think the Shangri-La still had this press release of an Easter activity, and like, really, are they still doing anything for Easter? So I don't understand. So maybe it was a scheduled press release or it was an older press release. I don't know. But anyway, Easter eggs. Okay, first before we leave Easter, did you have any like big Easter traditions?
So back when I used to stay with my parents in Paranaque, the village would have a lot of Easter activities.
Well, that's true.
And
Nice thing about gated communities.
so there was the annual Easter egg competition where you had all the time in the world to prepare,
Competition.
because on the morning of Easter you bring your creations to them
So you have to paint eggs creatively.
and all that, and there'd be these tables, numbers, so that people can vote.
Oh wow.
So you could imagine the joy I had of being able to anonymously enter a contest to celebrate my creativity on Easter.
So how monstrous were your eggs?
Yes, my eggs stood out because they were always serial killer themed, or I used eggs to represent a guy getting a what you call this, a an autopsy. So you had the eggshells as the rib cage, and I had so much fun. I never won,
Obviously,
but I
not
did.
not quite in the spirit of the holiday.
But I think I did win some of the earlier contests. And then other than that, there would be the Easter egg hunt, which was amazing because in the village, um, there was one time they used the football field, that
Huh?
huge area.
Okay.
And then later they realized it was too big. So they started using only the swimming pool area because it was an enclosed area.
Hmm.
But man, the football field area was crazy because many of us were starting to get frustrated. We couldn't find stuff. We started climbing the trees.
Oh boy, that feels wrong. That doesn't feel planned.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have too many, and like I think there's only like very few Easter egg hunts I got to
Mhm.
join, whether it was because of my aunt's preschool or things like
Mhm.
that. But then we would get stuff from the Easter bunny sometimes. Normally there would just be chocolates or candies around the house. There was one particular Easter where there was a giant chocolate egg, like in a box that was on the
Mhm.
swing set outside, and then there was a note from the Easter bunny, and it was really terrible handwriting. And of course, quickly my parents were very quick to state it's because he has paws and he doesn't have thumbs. So it was a good explanation
That makes sense.
as to the rabbit's terrible penmanship. And all the major figures wrote us
Mhm.
back. Santa wrote us back. The Easter Bunny wrote us back.
Mhm.
We got at least one note from a tooth fairy. It's
Mhm.
like this is a pattern in this family. But yeah, I don't think I've ever. I think I've only ever decorated Easter eggs once, like as a school activity, but
Mhm.
not outside of that. We didn't really participate.
And then I never really had the Easter chocolates. Let me explain.
Mm,
Because there's a subset of people who celebrate Easter, and what they do is they give out chocolate bunnies
yeah, or
or the
Cadbury
chocolate.
eggs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we didn't have that. At most, we did have candies and chocolates, but they'll be chocolate bars and the stuff. They never really gave us the eggs, which puzzled me. So when I go to the supermarket, I see bags of chocolate coins, chocolate eggs, and I'm like, I wonder who uses those because they never use those.
I was disappointed by the giant chocolate egg because it was like maybe this. The box was like this wide, and like, oh my gosh, it's a giant egg. And then it turned out it was like a shell.
Mm-mm.
It was just a thin layer of chocolate shaped exquisitely as an egg.
Mhm.
But I thought I was getting a solid block of chocolate shaped like an egg. So much for that. Kenneth started asking if we're just talking about Easter eggs. No, we're not. But then we're starting with Easter because
Mhm.
Toby needs time to finish his cookie.
And the other Easter cookies will just have to wait.
There are two more in the fridge. Did the frosting set better in the
No.
thing? Okay.
But it's still just sugar and sugar and sugar. Mm.
Okay. So what are we gonna do with this giant egg? I don't
I
know.
don't want to throw them.
Yeah, I know. It's just, but what are we gonna do with a giant egg?
Fine. I can hide something and hide the egg once a month.
You already have a habit of hiding things.
But
around
you
the
have
house.
to promise you have to look for the egg once a month.
Now just tell me when the hunt begins. Oh my god, look at that face. That's scary. That's scary. Oh, Nathaniel's here. Hello. True about
Hey.
hollow chocolate eggs. Okay, so on to eggs in general.
So eggs in general. So what can you cite as egg related stuff you could think of? I mean, I could think of one being,
What's your favorite style of egg?
oh, that's tricky.
Why is it tricky? People typically have an answer ready.
Okay, people have an answer ready when they're just thinking fried eggs or sunny side up, etc., etc.
Okay.
But eggs are so much more than that.
Okay, but if
There's
if it's an
custards.
egg only dish, then
There's-
what is your favorite egg only dish?
Egg only dish.
Julius is like, hide some cash. He already does. Nico hasn't been able to play that particular
Find the
hunting game.
envelopes.
Find the envelopes.
Notice it's plural.
Yeah. So
Um,
what's your favorite style of egg? Karen says eggs Benedict.
Wait, what's
Ooh.
Eggs Benedict again?
That's the one with the hollandaise. Okay. Pico is like chocolate eggs. I think that cheats.
Mitch mentions
Egg fried rice. So controversial. Obvious because of the Malaysian guys' videos. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
I think I've always
Uncle
been.
Roger.
I think I've always been fine with the scrambled eggs. I know I like scrambled eggs more than sunny side up.
And you like them like a proper scramble where it's all yellow, not a pan scramble
Yeah.
where it's partly white and partly yellow.
Because there was a time I hated the egg whites. And
Why?
I always felt it was like the daya part of the egg. It has no flavor. It's like As I grew up, of course, I started to appreciate
Nathaniel
egg
says
whites.
sunny side up, crispy ilalim pero malasado.
Yes,
Oh,
I
that's
like
nice.
eggs having that crispness. You know, when you overcook it slightly, so there's that part that's like a web that you can eat.
Like a web that you can eat. Look at what motivates Toby's like
No.
food decisions.
The bunny is staring at you.
Julius is scrambled egg with milk. And it wasn't it we also found out like it's not even you don't even just have to use milk, you can use water.
Yeah,
too,
we
diba?
prefer to use water only because it's faster.
It evaporates quickly and then the air bubbles make it
And-
fluffier.
And I think I like the fact that it's easier to prep. I mean, milk, you'll worry about the milk is bad. I've had those.
And we don't stock a lot of milk.
And I've had
anymore.
that bad time where I
Yeah.
had all the eggs ready. I put the milk. The milk was bad. I'm like, no, I have to throw out the eggs.
Yeah. I am still I'm a sunny side up person. But then in contrast, and Toby he can attest to this, I like it like
Runny yolks.
super runny. And then like I don't even look for crispy edges.
Mhm.
Although it tends to happen. But
Well, that's my fault because I don't know how to cook them better.
it's okay. Because even when I cook it on my own, but then like but my ideal egg is barely a minute on a hot pan
Mhm.
and then super runny because it solves the problem of the egg whites. Because if you think that it's not tasty, then with a sunny side up egg with that's that runny,
Hmm.
you can break it open and it spreads out.
Interestingly, I like egg salad,
Eggs like an egg.
which
Okay.
which usually was used as a sandwich.
Yeah. Egg salad spread thing.
Yeah, I really like that. I guess I like the texture. I like the taste.
It's like that sandwich guy, supposed English eggs something sandwich, and then like this is just a freaking egg salad sandwich. But
Mhm.
I digress.
And then Julius asks, "How about using egg shapers?" I have a few.
We've tried. Okay, wait.
We bought.
Wait. We have two definitions of this.
Yeah, there's the hard boiled one, and then there's the one for frying.
Yes. 'Cause- so the circle just the circular one for frying. We've never seen it work perfectly well because I think also like the slightest
It leaks
imperfection curvature then it leaks out. So that hasn't really worked well for us. Toby has a bunch of
Molds.
hard-boiled egg molds
So
so that they come out like a heart.
so you prepare the egg, and then you peel it and you put it in the mold while it's still hot, and then you close it and let it set. Because you can't put it in while it's not yet.
You can't
Yeah.
cook it in the thing. And
Yeah.
it's so crazy watching Toby trying to peel an egg while it's hot. Because ow.
Because I'm not good at temperature.
Ow. Karen, has anyone tried ostrich eggs? I have not. It's one of those things that I see a lot. But
Yeah, I think I've tasted it, but I've never tried cooking it.
Okay, that could be interesting.
Yeah. And
Um,
then I know I tried cooking pugo before, but I didn't know how. So I just made fried eggs with it, which are really small.
Oh my god, when did this happen? Why did you fry quail eggs?
Because I didn't know how I was supposed to hard boil them or what.
Surprisingly, I am not great with hard boiling egg. I mean, it's more challenging than you realize, and then it really depends on like even if you're how familiar you are with
Mhm.
your cooking setup, with your pan, how much water. The general recommendations I always see is that you should have the eggs in the water while it's cold.
And they must be completely submerged.
Yeah, and then as you heat it up, and then once it hits boiling, you cut the heat,
and
and then just leave it a bit.
Yeah.
And then the amount of time it spends in the heat will vary
The
how
yolk.
well done the egg is.
Mhm.
So, but I'm not great, and I don't do that a lot. I'm reminded of this because whenever I visit my mom, I feel like she has a stock of like hard boiled eggs that are
Mhm.
ready to eat. Like it's like snack staples in their house right now.
Mid-shares tip when you cook
Egg shaper, add water.
add water to make it steam. Para moist pa rin yung yolk.
Oh, okay, that's something.
Hmm.
Oh, that's what I do with when I do a sunny side up egg without the shaper. So I use a very small egg pan that has a
Lid.
possible lid. And then you sprinkle a little water and
Yes,
then you
and then
seal it.
cover. So the
And then
steam
it will
happens.
steam. It will cook the top of the yolk, but then leave the inside
Yes.
nicely runny. That's
Mhm.
my
I do that too.
favorite egg style.
But then I panic because the water's angry and I freak out.
Because it starts raining back on the pan and then water and oil, not a great mix. So yeah. Okay. What else?
And then beyond just savory eggs in that way. No, actually no. Beyond just eggs, we now go to the other savory eggs. We have omelets. We have what you call this?
I feel like I love omelets, but then I feel like we always overload them, and
Mm.
then like they don't. And to be fair, when you think about like if you go to any buffet breakfast, like a hotel breakfast where they cook the egg and you watch the chef
Mhm.
prepare the egg, you'll see how little ingredients he puts
Mhm.
inside. Versus like all of us, where we will chop everything and
Mhm.
dump it in
Yes.
and make it work. So we super overload our omelets. I think they're closer to like I don't know frittatas or something.
Mm.
But it's a fun.
Or crustless pizza. We prepare our omelets.
Oh, that's the little thing now. So in my frustrated keto life,
Mhm.
when Toby does this really, really dense omelet,
Mhm.
which has bell peppers and a lot of cheese,
And then a bacon bit.
yeah, then it's like it's as close as I can get to pizza
Mhm.
without getting like an almond flour
Because
pizza.
I would also let that cook a bit longer.
Yeah, then
So
the
the bottom
under
part-
crusts.
Yes.
It's nice. I super enjoy that. Yeah. Oh, see, and everybody's like, "Ooh, hotel egg stations." I love hotel egg stations. And then really
I like
like,
throwing challenges.
okay, that's the other problem.
I'd be like,
I'll just
can-
ask for
can
the omelet.
Can I
right?
have one which is an omelette? And then can you make another one, but it's in the triangle shape? And then can you make another one with cheese? And then I'll leave. And then
Yeah, I try not to be with Toby at the same time that he goes to a hotel egg station. But to be fair, we're typically wearing the same shirt, so we're definitely
However,
associated.
do you remember that time we were at some place and we both just wanted to be the one to cook it?
Which one was this? I
Because
can't
there was
really
that
remember.
station and the guy was always cooking it.
Oh, it
terribly.
looked very sad.
And we were like, pwede ba tayo na lang magluto?
He didn't look very motivated for the day. Maybe it was too early or something like that.
Mhm.
But in most other places, like I've been very happy with resort or hotel
Mhm.
egg stations. It's like the classic, like yes.
And then beyond omelets, we have the custard.
That was a fun. That was a
Yeah.
definitely fell in love with. Especially, it started. I think we particularly started noticing custards more because of Genki Sushi.
Yes.
Because it was one of those things you could order, and then I know you tried to cook once.
Yeah, but mine just turned into an omelette because you have to be able to you have to make sure it's clear enough.
Yeah.
There's no stuff. And then second, you have to have the right amount of heat so it doesn't cook into an omelette. And then third, you have to make sure that water doesn't get in.
Yeah.
So that's why most custards have the cling film covering.
Mm-mm.
But then it has to be super level or else water will condense and drip and it ruins it. So mine was an omelette.
Pico says, I clearly remember the day when I had my breakfast in the Crown Hotel in Robinson's Galleria. Like, oh my God, ambiance, taste of the egg, fried rice, heaven. Yeah, I do miss the happy combination of fried rice and egg. Especially me and my love for sunny side up eggs. And then like, yes, but now I can't. So at least I can still have eggs on keto because I'm not vegan keto, but this thing.
And then when it comes to fried rice, because you just mix the egg in, So it kind of coats the rice, and that's it. But then there's the other one wherein you cook the egg separately, and then you cut it into strips
Oh, then
that
it's
you
more
mix.
like chow fan
That you mix into the rice,
or yang chow.
which is also nice because it gives a different texture.
Yeah, yeah. But then, like, I'll always think of Cooking Master Boy when it's about mixing the egg, and then it's like
Perfectly.
you must perfectly wrap every single grain of rice. And oh my gosh. Nathaniel asks about century eggs and tea boiled eggs. So century eggs, I love. I haven't really looked into if I can still eat them on keto, but I don't know about the treatment.
I was disappointed they didn't really take a century to prepare.
This was an odd discussion we had with Toby.
I honestly used to imagine that there were families that had some sort of strange tradition of
burying these
yeah,
eggs.
yeah. Maybe they had fields that had levels of buried century eggs, and they're like, okay, it's this year we can pull out this tray, and next
And
year.
we had this conversation. We were together. Now,
Yes.
this is like Toby. They're not really buried
And
for
I'm
a
like,
century.
no.
It was very strange. It was very strange to have this conversation with someone who's older than me.
No, because it gave it a magical quality.
That's true.
It's sort of like when people talk about what's the word, aged meat.
Yeah.
Wherein they do have that sometimes months or years locked up in some cellar. See, so the idea was maybe there is some ancient practice that has century eggs. Yeah.
I like these families that have dedicated their lives to commerce and like just producing these eggs forever.
But then you find out that they're actually made with lye.
It's a lie.
So there's that. Whoa.
Strong chemical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Karen, of course, says that egg tarts are yummy. Or, egg pie. Diba? Egg pie, which is really a tart.
Mm-hmm.
Salted eggs. Okay, salted eggs fascinate me because salted eggs here,
Itlog na maalat or itlog na pula.
which
For
is
us.
different
Yeah.
from like salted eggs in like a lot of other Chinese or based countries like
Yes.
Singapore. Hence, salted egg flavored things like Irving's potato chips. It's not a flavor profile you would associate with like our salted eggs mixed into a salad and whatnot. That's funny, isn't it? Although there was that salted egg craze that went on for a while. My disappointment was that because of the amount of sugar in these packets, I cannot have salted egg stuff anymore. I could have salted egg fish skin, but it's like I can eat one piece a day and then I'll stop.
I still
Be safe.
don't know though how salted eggs are prepared. I don't know if that's literally in a bed of salt or if it's
Because there are also pickled eggs. But then is that only because you pickle a hard boiled egg that's already cooked and then it has a different process? I don't know. We should look into it. Patera salted eggs with radish slices, and then I don't know about like nuances of where to get eggs. So if Pateras is supposed to be very famous, that would be interesting. I wouldn't know the difference. It's like when people talk about longanisa, and then I always forget which one is from where and which one do I actually like. But now I avoid them all because they tend to have sugar.
Mhm. And then beyond that, we have leche flan, which uses so many eggs.
Because it's a custard.
Yeah, but it's like scary many eggs.
And it's not balanced. It's like more egg yolks than whites and things
which
like that.
is just an amazing dessert. And that's a beautiful dish. And then there's
you keep leaning on the egg. Now your friend during the show.
then there's duck eggs,
Yes.
which most of us know because of balot. But then there are a few places where it's used more than just balot.
In all honesty, I can only think of like balot and its derivatives. I don't think I've ever consciously had a duck egg in another way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, and balot is funny enough. It's not something you particularly like or look forward to, but it's quite comforting when you have it. Strangely enough.
And I think it's around $15 when you buy it in New York.
Oh my god.
And that's one egg.
And it's always so funny to me. Why is balot is our torture food, right? Because whenever you have people visiting, they're always like, "Oh, have you tried balot?" And I don't know why we do this to people, right? And I think it's just for shock value
Yeah.
that it's a chick.
But at the same time, it's not. I mean, it's a shock value because we've seen on TV how freaked out, or on YouTube how freaked out people get.
Yeah.
But even prior to social media, there was always that try niyo yan kasi that's the delicacy here. So it wasn't limited to that. The same thing happens with bagoong and this and that.
Although I don't know if like, but but I feel like it's not exactly like super standout like what you want the Philippines to be remembered for. Like if you think about Philippine cuisine, do you really think about balot among the top?
I think that
top
depends on where.
Eh nga eh.
Kasi syempre, if you're from a certain province, then baka it's because of the sapin-sapin there, or it's because of the tocino there, and that becomes the.
I guess. Karen brings up a very interesting point of quack quack. I used to in the times that I used to live in Pasay and we lived near a school, I would indulge in like for merienda, I'd walk out and then I'd like buy 20 or sometimes 50 pesos worth of quack quack.
I was not a quick person.
And then like have it in a bag and then I'll get home, dump it in a bowl and then pour the vinegar directly in.
I was a fan of fish balls, of squid balls, but I was not a fan of quick.
Why?
Because I did not trust it.
Did not trust it how?
I did not like the orange color.
Which is so funny coming from you. You normally are attracted to unusual colors in food.
The orange color
Would it be more appealing if it were green?
maybe.
Oh my
But the
god.
orange color basically made me think, warning, this is not natural. So I did not.
And
eat
it's
it.
such a bright orange now.
Yes, exactly. It was like, under construction orange.
And then it fascinates me when you think about when you think about quail eggs sold, particularly on the bus
In bags of
for
3.
trips in bags of 3
With a bit of rock salt.
with a little bundle of rock salt at the end, which I thought
Yes.
was like very very brilliantly done, and it's such a classic thing to
Mhm.
have together. Black Magic looks like a bot to me. I'm pretty sure. Give it a while. This one it looks like a bot because it just randomly it's Easter Sunday today.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And then
You know how it is when we talk about food. I don't know why we people do this, and we do this during like my fasting window has begun, so I'm immune to your charms. Eggs.
But then beyond food, eggs have always been a staple in our pop culture in one way or another.
Whoa. Okay, we're going to pop culture. What do you
Yes.
mean?
So we have the eggs from aliens, or it would be an egg, and then there's a.
This is the person I'm spending the rest of my life with. That he wanted to find a way to bring in alien face huggers into this episode.
He is recent.
Oh my god.
What else? There were, of course, all those adventure stories or pulp stories wherein it's trying to get the blank egg, the phoenix egg, the dragon's egg, and all this and
It's a
that.
classic magical MacGuffin. Nathaniel says, I don't trust quack quack batter, but any street food tastes different when made at home. My grandma was like this in the sense that when she would buy, there's one time she introduced us to Okoy,
Mhm,
and we bought it at Nepa Q Mart, but we didn't eat it there.
mhm.
She got home and fried it again.
Yes, because
And
you
then-
don't trust what oil they use.
Yeah, and then she let us eat it, and like, oh my
Mhm.
god, this is amazing. So there's always that worry about street food, but then I went to UP and like screw it, It's like I'm gonna eat on the street between classes and deal with it, and I never got sick. So yay.
And then you have popular fiction characters. So you have Sheldon,
From Garfield and Friends.
Not-
Actually, he's from Orson's Farm.
not from Big Bang Theory, who was literally an egg with legs.
And it was, remember, there was that one episode where they kind of built up, like, oh my god, he's gonna hatch. And
Mhm.
then he hatched, and it was just Sheldon again.
Mhm.
There was like another shell
Mhm.
under his shell.
And
It's
then-
very strange.
And then we have, like in Marvel Comics, you have the nanny, which was this robot that looked like an egg.
I don't remember this. I know there's Egghead.
It was the one chasing after Storm when Storm was trapped in a kid's body.
Okay, so I don't know this. Again, I'm mutant lore is my weakest of all the Marvel things. I know more about Deathlock than I
Okay.
know about the mutants.
Then let's go
sometimes.
to something more popular. We have Jean Grey. Because she was in the Phoenix
I knew you were
egg.
gonna bring up the.
What?
Okay.
Because when she died, does this still need a spoiler warning? Because this was from literally 40, 30 years ago. No,
Claremont
30 years ago, yeah.
Okay.
But when she died as Phoenix, her essence is stored in an egg beneath the waters, which Mr. Sinister covets and hopes to gain control over.
So she was literally turned into a MacGuffin.
And eventually that egg hatches and Phoenix slash Jean Grey, depending on which line or story you follow, is reborn.
Recently, X-Men Forever was on sale, and I didn't know if I wanted to venture because I didn't know the Claremont stories well. So then, like, what's the point of That's the continuation of, like, if Claremont never stopped it.
But at the same time, they didn't limit themselves to the Phoenix egg because there was also the Brood, which was their version of the aliens.
Yeah, Brood was like straight up alien comparison. And what can you do?
Mm-hmm. DC, I don't know if DC had an egg thing.
Not that, I don't know, I can't think of anything. Oh my god, Mitch is like, since we're talking about pop culture, let's add Inday and the Golden Bibe. What's that? I don't know what this is.
It's a local movie where they had a magical duck. I think it was Maricel Soriano. Double checking.
Toby's Googling.
Manila Film Fest, remake of the original 1988 film. There was a 2010 version. The 2010 version had Marian Rivera and John Lapos.
Okay.
I'm looking for the original. The original one was Marcel Soriano. So
Okay.
I was right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody's like, I have to research it. No. So it's just not something I get into.
And I'm looking right now if there's any other things. Oh, how can we forget Dr. Zeus?
Green eggs and ham.
Yes.
I am Sam. Sam, I am. Would you like green eggs and ham?
That made me obsessed over green eggs when I was young.
That you wanted to
I
eat a green
tried
egg?
to cook eggs and added
Food coloring. But food color doesn't taste of anything.
Yeah, and worse, it doesn't, magically coat everything perfectly.
No, you have green,
So
you'll have like sickly dots
So
on your
I
eggs.
had military green eggs and because they were like camouflage dark green.
And the green eggs in ham pa naman in the book, it's like only the yolk is green, and then the rest is so white.
frustration to try to get it right. What else? I'm trying to see if there's anything else.
Horton hatches an egg. Nga pala.
Mm-hmm.
That's another Dr. Seuss book where you have an elephant sitting on an egg.
Yes.
Because he was asked to watch it while the mom had other stuff to do. Oh, the little red hen, the big red hen. No, but so that was more about baking bread. But oh my god, I don't know what other egg stuff.
Now in Studio Ghibli, there was a short that featured eggs as the characters, and it did have a baking. I wonder if that's related to the big red hen. If it was a retranslation of that story.
Sure.
But it had the witch.
But wasn't this one of those Studio Ghibli Museum exclusive things?
It had the witch, it had the eggs that were sacrificing themselves, and then they turned into this perfect bread. Yes, I know. What?
This is the man I love? Question mark. The thing to get into, it's strange. Okay, but yeah, that's like I think.
Remember those egg slicers?
Yes.
That had all those intricate wires.
It was you hard boil an egg and then you slice.
So there was the one that sliced it as I guess in lack of a better word, coins. Because it was like vertical slices, so it now turned into discs. But then there were those that were like a star shape, so it cuts down in the middle, so it turns into like lemon slices instead. And I found those so fascinating. But then I saw them and they reminded me of certain horror movies wherein the guy would go through the wires
and they were like okay to use, but then still it still meant that because it's like it saves you time if you're making a salad and you want to have like those egg slices on the side.
And it sort of makes things uniform.
But someone still has to freaking do the hard boiled eggs, and I already said that frustrates me. And then someone has to peel all those hard boiled eggs, which is a challenge. Does anyone have a good technique for peeling a hard-boiled egg?
Supposedly, if you take it out at the right moment and you cool it slightly at the right moment, you can just peel it off, right? With a push because the peel supposedly is loosened up.
Yeah. Or I do well, at least with quail eggs, I tap it and I crack all on the edge and then sort of rub that
Yeah.
and then try to ease it off. But I don't know.
I only have trouble because it's really hot. It burns my fingers.
That's Toby's problem with temperature in general. Uh, because I place it in cool water, then rub it. See, it's that rubbing technique because you're trying to loosen it from the egg itself. Mitch, one egg dish you can't quit.
I'd say fried eggs.
But
I mean, if I could only have one egg dish, then it'd be fried eggs. If they're versatile enough, you can prepare them that they're super savory, but you can still prepare them that they're parang light enough to be a snack.
that's true.
Like tamago. Diba? You can like have a scrambled egg on the side, nothing else on it, not even that much salt. And it's just enough to be a munchie.
That's what happened to us yesterday. Toby did the grocery, and then because he had to do it alone, then he had to carry everything. So we're not sure when the collision happened, but when he was unloading stuff, the egg tray got hit. Yeah, was on its side, and a good 5 eggs were cracked. And then he was panicking, like, "Oh my God, were they cracked? Were they always cracked? Did it just crack now?"
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up making an instant omelette, and like they were okay.
Our stomachs are fine. So
Yes, we're still alive, but yeah, it just speaks to the versatility of eggs, and like as long as we can fry it, we're happy.
And then there was that you could shake the egg enough before you hard boil it. So when it's boiled and you peel it, it's all golden.
Oh, I've never tried that.
You basically scramble it while it's within the egg.
Yeah, I mean, I get the principle, but how does that work? I mean, because it's hard to break the yolk inside.
It was a very strong spinning motion. I remember seeing it. I've been wanting to try to do it, but I always freak out to try hard boiling.
And then I always wanted to figure out soft boil. I mean, so of all the egg techniques, so I haven't figured. So I'm not great with hard boiling. I haven't figured out soft boiling eggs, obviously. Poaching eggs frustrates me. I've tried, and then sometimes I forget that we have this.
See the yolk.
Poaching eggs frustrates me. You know, remember that time I was desperate to poach eggs, and I kept. It's like there was swirl it,
the vinegar.
Some say vinegar, some say you don't need to just swirl
and
it.
Others use the plastic bag.
Plastic bag to cheat the egg,
or the dipper para dun mo siya
Oh my god! But then I don't know. Eggs are still my friend in keto because when I can't like in what's this when you can't have rice, eggs is a weird substitute. Scrambled eggs always like nicely hits the spot and rounds out the meal. Although veggies does the job probably a little better because then I feel like it's roughage and I feel it's healthier. But we have an inordinate amount of eggs. We maintain like 4 cartons of eggs in the fridge at any one time. Typically, we'll consume at least 2 every week, sometimes 3. But yeah, it's a lot of eggs you go through. Oh my God, Nathan had a 3 egg story, 3 yolks in 1 egg.
Oh, interesting.
How creepy! I've never encountered a double yolk in the eggs I cook myself.
Did you ever have to blow out the eggs and try to maintain the shell?
What do you mean blow out the egg?
So you pinprick one side, you pinprick the other side, then you blow out so it forces out that hole. And then you can then use the egg for Easter eggs.
No.
Because we also did that for magic tricks.
I imagine.
So we'll blow it out so the egg's like intact. And then we put glue and a little bit of powder so it now looks normal. And then we can like pour in food coloring or glitter. So it looks normal. Then when you break it, surprise! We normally put it back in the tray. So you can't tell which is which.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
No, these are during the times I did magic tricks. Remember, I used to do that as a clown.
Yeah, but then why would you put it back in the tray?
So during the show, I'll pull out the tray, especially if this was not my house, right? So I load it beforehand. And then I'm like, oh, choose an egg. And then they'll choose something else. Okay, let's not use that one.
Magician's choice.
Let's use this one na lang. And then 1, 2, 3, then smash it on their head. So everyone's expecting egg.
Ow.
But then it's
you hit me. Mm. And eggshells intact are put in orchids. Oh yeah, there's that. It's plant food.
Mm-hmm.
You've tried that also in trying to enrich
It's
your little garden.
the mango tree has it.
The mango tree.
So our mango tree, which continues to grow,
It's like it has devil horns right here.
um, there, see, eggs. The shells are inside. They're providing nutrients.
Why do you say nutrients like electrolytes?
All right.
Karen, of course, suggests, my goodness, Toby. Exactly. That's like how I feel a lot of times. And you think that I wouldn't be surprised anymore, given that we live together and if we've been together for so long. But no, every day there's the potential for surprise.
And then Super Mario Brothers has Yoshi who spits out eggs.
Okay, wow, we jumped to Mario. Yes, that is true.
What else? I think that's pretty much it.
Well, if we then, how do we feel about the spinies in Mario that they seem to be thrown out as a spike egg, and then they become that weird armadillo thing?
I always saw those less as eggs and more as
They're rolled up.
helmets with spikes or something. Because remember those monsters in Labyrinth?
Okay, aren't they all goblins?
Yeah. So I saw it more like that.
Okay, all right. It's 10 o'clock. I think that's a good enough egg episode, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? Do you need more? We're going to be jumping over to Antutan Says to watch the show tonight.
Yeah, and I guess ultimately eggs have always been a symbol of rebirth. They've been a symbol of change, of
fertility.
transformation. Yeah. There's also that Philippine practice of having eggs in a funeral. There's the chicks on top of the coffin, but there's also the eggs on the side. Supposedly pang-absorb ng malas, and then you can throw them away. And then what else? Was there any other egg-related thing that we do? No.
I guess.
Oh, they also use it in fortune telling.
Oh, like we break it open and see what it's like.
Or they use it, they rub it against you to take out the bad curses. And then when they break it open, you'll see maitim siya and stuff. But I guess that's all the time we have for this episode. Is there anything else you want to bring up?
Mitch notices that you've been holding on to that egg toy the whole night.
No, I'm not.
You should put the chocolate in the fridge.
Could I put ice in it?
Well, currently it does have eyes. And they're googly eyes.
Okay, but yeah, I guess that's our episode for tonight. We haven't mapped out our plans for next week. But
we'll figure that out in the next few hours.
We'll get that image out so that you all have an idea. But I think we've reached the end of our guestings for now. We shall see which new set will map out in the coming weeks.
In the short answer is we haven't talked to anyone for this week. So no guests this week for Araw ng Kagitingan, I guess. But who knows, unless someone wants to appear in the show, then let us know. We're Karen says you're like a penguin.
What? Why?
Because you're like hugging an egg. Because the male penguins nest the eggs, right?
I'm not using my legs.
You could though. You're very proud of what you can do with your legs, especially your feet. Toby has prehensile toes. It's very disturbing. And he argues that he's more accurate with his toes than with his hands.
And I can clap. Or pick up stuff.
Mostly pick up stuff or pinch me. It's very disturbing. It's very disturbing. Let's wrap up.
But that's all we have time for tonight's show. Thank you so much for joining us. We had a lot of fun, and we hope you'll join us again next time.
If you have questions for us or suggestions for future episodes, or you want a guest, let us know at the Google form, bit.ly, Baduy Pride Ideas. You can follow us on Twitter. Oop, that didn't click. You can follow us on Twitter, Altoby No Shade, RG Sunico.
You can also check out our blog, baduypride.com, for all the previous episodes and stuff about us.
Oh, it's all requiring double clicks for some reason. Okay. Well, Baduy Pride. And then, or am I double clicking without intending to? Anyway, feel free to continue the conversation in the comments below. Let us know what are your egg thoughts. And of course, Be sure to subscribe for notifications, whether on Facebook or YouTube, so you don't miss our next live stream. Once again, I'm Rocky.
And I'm Toby.
And this is Baduy
Baduy
Pride. Thanks for joining us on a Sunday night.
Happy